Ohio-based developers looking to add 200 units to the Legacy Arboretum Apartments in South Charlotte, nearly doubling the number of people living there. The neighbors there are pushing back. Spectrum News 1 reporter Rachel Lloyd joining us now live from the complex off Pineville Matthews Road with reaction. And Rachel, many say an expansion will bring even more traffic to an already congested area.
That's exactly what they're saying, Brittany. And right now it's actually smooth sailing, but during the school year, traffic here is backed up for about a mile in both directions. And here's why. So that complex is right across the street from Providence High School. And this is where the issue comes into play. So parents actually drop off their students right here on this street, and drivers in the area call this pickup and drop-off times an absolute nightmare. Now, the expansion would also cut down a significant amount of trees in the area, and even though the developer, Goldberg Companies Incorporated, is willing to make compromises, long-term residents tell me they're not enough.
This is the dangerous intersection. You will notice I'm careful.
Tom Sutton has lived off Pineville Matthews Road for 10 years now. He's seen it all, from car crashes to bumper traffic.
Yep, this is where a lot of accidents happen.
It's calm on this particular summer day, but the 2-minute drive from his home to Providence High School takes at least 20 minutes during the school year.
Turn lane into Providence High.
And Sutton says it will get worse as Charlotte City Council considers plans to expand the Legacy Arboretum Apartments, a multi-family complex across the street from Providence High.
I was really actually shocked by the amount of expansion they were talking about.
Ohio-based developer Goldberg Company Incorporated is proposing adding 212 more units to Legacy Arboretum, which currently has around 266.
Obviously, folks who live here are.
Sutton says he sees the need for more housing, but this isn't the way to do it, so he's advocating against it. He and a dozen other residents started the Say No to Legacy website to fight the developer's proposal, updating subscribers on every crash, traffic jam, twist, and turn associated with the area, including plans to convert the 2-story buildings into 4 stories.
Like nothing else in the area. It was like, wow, I mean, wow, how do they think that's a good idea?
After pushback to its initial proposal of expanding to a total of 500 units, Goldberg worked with the city's planning department to reduce it to 478 instead.
All right.
The Sutton says going back 20 units won't decrease traffic concerns for Providence High and nearby Elizabeth Lane Elementary School.
Got one thing backing up into another thing, backing into another thing, like you do here, where one school hits another school, then hits a really busy intersection in Matthews.
The proposal would also reduce the city's tree canopy, currently surrounding the complex, which city officials say improves air quality and increases property values. Sutton says the removal also violates the city's long-term goals outlined in its 2040 plan.
In the 2040 plan, is one of the key things is to preserve the natural environment and integrate that into the built environment.
I also want to thank the residents of Hugh Forest.
After more than a dozen neighbors spoke out at last week's council meeting, Goldberg Company is going back to the drawing board.
All right. So right now, there's probably a compromise that could be made that would allow them to, redevelop part of their side, hit the return on investment that they're probably looking for, but at the same time, not degrade the quality of life for the folks of Charlotte.
And I also reached out to the attorney representing the developer, but I haven't heard back yet. But at last week's council meeting, he did say that they're willing to communicate more and cooperate with the community. And Councilman Ed Driggs also said recently that the developer is willing to take more time to hear those concerns from the community. So now the earliest that the council can vote on the new proposal is September 19th. Live in Charlotte, Rachel Lloyd, Spectrum News 1.
All right, Rachel, thank you. We will keep everybody in the know.